now from Hollywood, California, the horror capital of the world, the Boulet Brothers, creatures of the night.
All right, we are back with a new episode of the Boulet Brothers, Creatures of the Night. How are you doing, my little creature of the night?
I'm good. I feel energized and just like electrified. There's so much going on daily, and I'm rising to the occasion. How are you?
I'm good. It's an exciting moment, right? We're getting ready to leave for the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans tour, which is shaping up to be so... I cannot wait for people to see the show. What part? I mean, you can't say what we're doing because then it would spoil. But what are you excited about the most about getting on this tour bus and starting this?
It's the audience. It's the energy. It's being on stage, just kind of sharing in that experience with you guys too.
I would trade an audience that's fired up, really passionate. I don't care if it's hot and sweaty and gross and whatever, but they're loving it and they're enraged. You know, I would trade that for a beautiful green room any day of the week.
Oh, totally. That beats nothing. Nothing beats that at all. Yeah.
And there's so many places I can think of. I remember particularly in Arizona, I thought the crowd was just on fire in the last
It was incredible. That was a sold-out show in Mesa, where we've never been before, just outside of Phoenix.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
We're going back to Phoenix, so I hope everyone in Phoenix comes out and sees us again. I hope Formelda's there. Formelda, if you're out there listening, you better come to the show in Phoenix. We have front row seats right on Ian's lap for you.
Ooh. Love it.
So the tour is getting ready to launch. Very excited about that. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, make sure you get them at dragulalive.com. And as you all know now, we're working on our Halfway to Halloween TV special, our first ever scripted TV special, and it is amazing. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with what the crew and the cast and all the stars and everyone. I mean, I'm very proud of it, and I cannot wait for people to see it.
I agree. I'm just going to bare my soul right now. I hope, and I pray to everything that's dark and delicious in the universe that the crowd and the audience loves it as much as we do. It's such an homage to everything like dark and Halloween. It really serves up that like October 31st goodness, except it's in April. And for the people that have that little dark place in their heart that have to wait all year long for their favorite holiday season of the year to finally roll around, you get a little slice of that in spring. And it's so good. And I really hope the crowd loves it as much as we do.
I think there's so many magical gems in it, too. Like, for me, as a fan of horror, the fact that we got Felissa Rose back in the woods in a camp setting. Of course, I'm in love with that.
Can we talk about Felissa for, like, just a minute? Because she deserves it. I mean, our friend Michael Verratti, who's done lots of work on Dragula and been a guest judge on the show and helped do, like, the Dungeons & Dragons episodes and stuff, he brought Felissa forward and introduced us back on season 3, and we had a day or two on set, and I was like, wow, I really love this girl. Like, she's so fun, and we got a little taste. And then we did that convention in Atlanta for the Days of the Dead, and we saw her there, and I'm like, looking across the room, I'm looking across the convention floor, and like, there's a lot of people in the room, but my eye goes directly to, I'm like, that's Felissa. Because she's like up on a chair, like doing a shot, like whooping and hollering, screaming. And I'm like, this is a party person. Like, I love her.
Yeah. If you go to a horror convention, you want to hang out with Felissa Rose. And that is the truth.
And we like hauled her out like hours into the California woods. And she was just as much fun out there, like all day long, delivering performance and great attitude, great energy. And it was just such a fun homage to go back to the woods and back to a campground.
Yeah.
Spoiler, with Felissa Rose.
And another fun thing about the special, and this is something to do with Felissa too, is that we wrote the special and we also directed a lot of it. And we got to direct Felissa Rose, which was very fun. I felt that she made the job very easy.
Yeah.
You know, she did. It was just fun. Like, we're all hanging out. We're like, okay, let's do this. Okay. You know, she was just like in it to win it, and I love it. So I can't wait for people to see. I think people are going to see that good energy come through.
I agree. Everyone involved, everyone that's attached to this project kind of across the board came forward with such great energy, like the best intent to make it the best it could be. And we got to work with a lot of really talented actors, like legitimate stars. And that was like such a huge pleasure too. And to have them add their mojo to ours to create this like Halfway to Halloween special, it was just struck a tone.
Definitely. So everyone, make sure you tune in and you join us for the premiere on April 25th on AMC Plus and Shudder. It's going to be amazing. But for right now, I think we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to be joined by Ian, and we're going to dig into
Yellowjackets Season 2.
See you soon.
We'll be right back. Hello lovers, it's Swanthula Boulet here, and I've got some very exciting news for you. The Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans Tour is set to terrorize the US, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and tickets for the show are now available at dragulalive.com. As many of you know, Drac and I are infamous for throwing some of the best parties in the world, and this drag show is going to be no exception. So if you love drag that's dark and disturbed, and prefer punk rock over pretty and pink, this is it. Join the Boulet Brothers, Victoria Black, Coco Kane, Hoso Teratoma, Eva Destruction, and all of the stars of the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans for the filthiest and most fabulous drag show on Earth. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, darlings, so get your tickets now with VIP upgrades at dragulalive.com. Do it now, before it's too late.
All right, we are back, and we are now joined by Formaldehyde's lover, Ian.
A guy can dream, can he? Tee.
You're going to have to fight Cornbread for Formelda, because from what I hear, Cornbread has claimed Formelda as her own.
I don't know why you think the Cornbread and I are going to be fighting. Mama, we on the same team.
You ever seen... Never, I'm not getting into it.
I'm like, you ever seen just two bears maul a piece of meat in the woods? Like in Yellowjackets? I have.
You start with the ear.
Oh, and I always do.
Anyway, so what do you think? You're here. You know, we're all like getting packed up and ready to leave for tour. Are you excited?
I am really fucking excited. Like, oh my God, I'm literally smiling ear to ear. And honestly, I didn't know how I was going to feel going into this tour. Because if you would have told me, hey, we're going to go on tour, we're doing this special, we're doing all these crazy things, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so much to handle. But here we are. The tour is, I can't say how many days away at the time of recording, but we are literally about to embark. And I gotta say, I can't wait to get into my child-sized coffin on the tour bus.
I thought it could be fun to talk to people a little bit about what the touring experience is like, because when we were on tour last year in the UK, I put a couple little TikToks from behind the scenes, and people were really into it.
They loved it.
And I was like, it ain't, it's just.
But
like, they loved it. And I was like, well, it's just a kitchen on a bus.
The dirty shoes on the hall floor.
Dirty shoes. That's why they loved it. Because they
were
knew
corny.
we were there you go.
Okay.
We were showing what's really happening behind the scenes.
I gotta say, one of my favorite things about the UK, touring in the UK different than touring in the US, is the difference in the buses. Like, either way, touring is a privilege, and for all of the cast members of the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans who are about to go on tour, touring is a privilege, and it is super fun, and it's a lot of work, and it's amazing. But I will say this. The UK tour bus game fucking kills it. The tour bus in the UK, they're double decker, the bunks are a little bigger, and they have a full kitchen. And I'm a snack girl, and I have been caught snacking late at night by Drac, by Swan, by the whole S4 cast.
Yep. You're also a bed snacker too. Like, I'll be walking down Bunk Alley, and that's what they call it out, for those that never like entered like a tour bus. There's this just picture like the Parisian crypts. It's like coffin crypts from floor to ceiling on the left and the right, and you are now walking down
like
Bunk Alley. It is like the catacombs. But when you walk by certain bunks, it's quiet. And then other bunks, it's like, which is natural. But then there's the last two that are like this.
Chicken bones flying out.
And that is how I know which bunk Ian chose when we go down.
You know what? And honestly, I feel like that's my calling card. Like, you'll hear me in my bunk like that. Or also downstairs, if you ever hear like a creepy like, it's me journaling in the dark.
Oh, remember when we caught Ian with his journal?
I have to respect
on the first night, and we're like, oh my God, it's so cute. What are you doing? And he's like, I'm journaling. And I was like, that's cute. And then he never did it again.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, one, I'm like, first of all, this is cute. I am cute. T. But second of all, I'm like, it's dark as hell, and I'm so tired. I'm like, these snacks taste the same on my back, in my bunk. Thank you.
But they don't taste the same as American snacks, because those flavors.
Very true.
I mean, it was like crawfish barbecue.
More prawn.
Crawfish,
no,
prawn mayonnaise. I'm like, what? Prawn mayonnaise Lay's. I was like, what?
Oh, Hoso and I went through more hot sauce between the two of us than I feel like is really human safe.
Just like mask all the flavors with sriracha.
Well, hey, so one of the things I also like about touring is the odd situations that I feel like I've seen. And I'll tell you what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
So when in my normal life, there's just things I just never would picture would happen. Like if you did like a choose your own adventure, they would never happen. And this is like a more innocuous one, but like it's for some reason I come downstairs, it's like 6:30 in the morning and like Ian and Sigourney are up playing checkers or painting their something just weird. It's like, why are you awake at 6 in the morning?
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And then it never happens again. And it's like, I feel like that happens on like, or like one time I came downstairs on the bus in the UK and Landon is up there like making a whole new costume by himself.
Oh, I remember that.
And I'm like, are you going to go to bed? And he's like, I want a different outfit. I was like, okay.
Yeah. Or it's like the bus driver is all quiet. You have sleep in your eye and you look down the hall and it's like someone's in the corner watching a movie looking crazy. Like they haven't slept in 2 days because they probably have it. And then the bus driver and then just that's it.
Oh, yeah.
Just nothing. Just the road in front of you. It's weird.
I mean, God, you're making me think this is like such a strange like romanticization of tour because tour's fun, but tour is like a weird work slumber party. Like you're saying, like there are weird events. Like, hi, you wake up, you roll out of your bunk and you just open the curtain and someone else is also like awake. And you're like, do you want to go be awake somewhere? I guess ? It's very weird.
This is so not entertaining, but I want to share it because I just got a flashback memory from season 4. Hi, we were doing pre-production for Titans on the season 4 tour.
So God.
Drac, Swan, and Ian were basically doing like 3 full-time jobs all at once on the road. It was crazy. So, but we would wake up and we'd be like, like out of sleep, out of all the diphenhydramine and melatonin I could possibly take to drug myself to sleep in that moving coffin. And then as soon as we would wake up, it'd be like, wipe your face, grab your laptop, get to a coffee house. And we were still pulling up into whatever city it was. And it was, it's kind of hot. And like we were driving and we're like, we were checking the app for the tour. Like, oh man, the coffee is like 5 blocks away. And we were passing the coffee house and Drac, we hadn't gotten to the venue yet. And Drac's like, pull over. Pull over. Pull over. And
I did not say it like that.
It was like, we grabbed our backpacks and he might as well have just like slowed down, opened the door, and we all jumped out to get to the coffee as soon as possible.
Okay, but you know what? Remember this. I walked up to the front and they were trying to like pull the bus. And the tour manager, I was like, I want out. And she's like, well, I'm not going to open the door. And I was like, open that door. And the bus driver got scared and opened it and we went out. I was like, you better not ever do that to me again. And I got my coffee.
Yes,
she did. We had an amazing bus driver the last time too.
Yeah.
He was really cool. He actually came to a bunch of shows, which I thought was really
awesome.
That's the other thing. We make weird friendships that you would not normally make.
Yeah.
Hi, I'll tell a weird story too. Last tour, I became really good friends with the VIP manager, and we're all just like kikiing and hanging out, and I ended up with her toes in my mouth. Just like, I mean, you know what?
Escalated.
Hi, it did that night too, but like there was no reason for it other than like just like, oh, like we're all like telling a story, caught up in the moment, and like I commit to a bit. I'm like, I love a bit, so we're like, oh yeah, foot fetish, and I'm like, oh yeah, toes in mouth. Why? I don't know. It's 4 a.m. We're on the bus. We're in between Ohio and Minnesota. I don't know.
Oh, thank God I missed that part. But I do remember the night that you were doing laundry. And you were by yourself in the back of the venue. And weren't you you were in like those little like slutty shorts?
You were the tiniest, sluttiest hoe shorts. I was like, my hoe daughter showed up for work today.
And that guy, the venue worker, comes around the corner.
He literally was like, whoa. Where your pants at?
Anyways, so we're gonna leave again soon. And okay, so we're going back. We're gonna be with all the Titans again.
Yeah, and it's like a weird mirror because last tour we started in the northwest corner of the country in Portland, and this time we're starting in the southeast corner of the country.
Oh my God, direction queen.
Hi,
yes.
I do know what navigation is. I have a compass. I have seen one before. Yeah, but we're starting out at a sold out show in Victoria's hometown, Orlando. I think we're going to blow the roof off of that place.
Well, I mean, it sold out so quickly. Yeah. I'm really excited, and we get to crown Victoria finally. Mm-hmm. We get to take Victoria's portrait and take it all over the country with us.
Yes.
I want to do, I literally want to come to get to the finale thing and be like, and welcome to the stage, Victoria Black, and just have the frame there.
Yes! Protos Titanus, my queen.
Open the curtains and it's just there.
It's just candles and a portrait. And I think it's what some of the fans actually deserve.
I tried so hard. Fans at home who are listening, I'm sorry I couldn't pull this off you. I tried so hard to get these little keychain frames of Victoria's, that picture that they love so much. I tried to get little keychains of that picture.
It's really
and I
cute.
couldn't do it. I was this close.
So
you know why I
cute.
didn't do it? It's because the frame, it had to be a square edge, and that pissed me off. So I didn't do it.
Oh, apparently also, like, there's a thing with, like, tour crew members, like, they'll get, like, tour tattoos. Like,
Tour tattoo.
Oh.
yeah, like, all the crew members for the S4 tour in the U.S. got a tattoo about it. Not me included.
About Dragula?
It was some sort of, like, inside joke that they had.
That's
but,
cute, though.
Yeah, I think that maybe we'll all
Was
have
it
to
I Hate Ian?
No, that's the one that I got as well.
I know a few people that got that on the S4.
I gave it to him.
No. I told Dahlia to give him a tattoo.
Dolly wants a drag prison tattoo.
I think they need it.
That could be arranged.
I think they need it. I want to do a clown face on their lower back. Yeah.
What, to compliment the other clown face on the lower back?
Is there one on the lower back already?
No, but you believed it.
Yeah, I did. I want to put it right above her.
So listen, before we move on to our review of season 2 of Yellowjackets, which I'm so excited is out, by the way. I didn't see it coming on the radar. I'm looking at all these projects.
What, are you
flying
busy?
At my, a little bit. I'm really excited to do that. I want to talk about some merch that Drax's been working on for my Junior Mints movie club.
That's right. It is your Junior Mints movie club.
Yay!
And Drax, you are such a genius. I do love you for your diligence and your hard work. You're like, guys, look at this new merch I've been working on, and me and Ian saw it, and I was like,
That's right.
Oh, it's so cute. So what can the fans expect from this merch?
So far, the fans can expect a pin of the Junior Mints. It's the official
Ooh.
Junior Mints Club, movie club logo. And I believe I'm trying to make a fanny pack as a snack pack at Swan's suggestion,
yes.
so you can take snacks into the movies.
so cute.
I knew about the pin. I did not know about the fanny pack, which cannot wait for the Australian tour where I can say fanny pack and really mean pussy pouch.
Mm-hmm.
I want a Junior Mints
yeah, right.
pussy
In
pouch
Australia,
so bad.
they call it your cunt pouch. They use the word cunt.
They love it. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Every other word. There's this guy on
It's so
TikTok from
casual.
Australia. It's like, I can't even tell you. Everything he says is like
You already
awful.
dropped the bomb, so I love you for
Well,
that.
hey,
That was awesome.
Just know that I was saying that in my Australian culture way, not in my United States culture way, which would be inappropriate.
Changes it completely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cunt pouch.
Cunt pouch, cunt pouch, cunt pouch.
So now that there's gonna be the Junior Mints fanny pack treat pouch, and there's gonna be Drax Aussie Down Under cunt pouch.
No, there's not. Do not.
No, there's not.
Batteries not included.
All right, so let's move on. I know everyone is excited. I know you all are excited. When we last left our Yellowjackets, our beloved Yellowjackets, we were so happy with them. We were all into the show. Loved it, and then we had a nice long break, and then here it is. Season 2 has come out. The first episode is out. We have watched it, and we're now ready to discuss. So if you have not watched it yet at home, pause the podcast, go watch it, and come back so you can join in the discussion. And you should let us know what you think on Twitter, too, if you agree with our feelings about the episode or not. But I'm going to start by asking Swan.
Oh, so pointed. I'm on the spot. Oh my god.
Just generally pleased or displeased?
Generally pleased. I loved revisiting the world. I wanted more.
Ian.
Generally concerned because I too wanted more, and I feel like the parts where I got more, I was a little confused as to the tone overall.
I felt that this was more. Ask them myself. I'm allowed to have an opinion, right?
Oh yeah, no, Drac. What do you? Oh, sorry, girl. Drac, what do you?
Yeah,
think?
we have a couple of seconds. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
So, I felt like it was just an extra episode of last season. I did not feel like there was a lot of advancement.
We all feel a little different. That's interesting.
this is
That's
interesting.
what we're going to talk about. So,
Yeah.
let's start with the tone. Do you think it feels like it's the same show?
I want to address this tonal shift because I kind of felt it too. And I felt like last year, I felt like season 1 cast a spell. It was like a web of intrigue a spider web in the middle of a haunted forest, like glistening with dew.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it just shrouded with fog. And I was like, this thing unfolded. It was complex and it was just intricately like woven from the past and the present. And I felt really surprised by every episode.
Mm-hmm.
And this one felt like it was trying to emulate that, but not as successfully done as season 1.
Yeah, I generally feel like season 1, we share the same view. Like, season 1 is one of my favorite seasons of television that's honestly ever come out. I love it. And this episode, I felt like it was really campy in a way that I wasn't expecting. Like, I remember a lot of episodes of Yellowjackets season 1 being like, wow, this is dark. Like, this is really gritty. This is really intense. These girls are really going through it in the woods. And here, it's almost kind of like, what is it, Weekend at Bernie's? Or, yeah, I was like, okay, like Shauna's like talking to her dead best friend and like and then like Jeff is like rocking out to Papa Roach. I'm like, I get it. It's comedy, but I'm not really sold on it. Like,
well, like, what did you think was what did you feel was maybe campier than what we had seen in because there was some campy stuff last year, especially with Christina Ricci.
For sure. I think maybe what I am picking up on is an evolution that happens in season 1. Because I think that season 1, the show starts out very, very grim. You know, we have the crash, and then it's sort of like, how do we survive this? And there's political kind of, you know, back and forth with the Yellowjackets, and there's alliances being made and shifting and all these things. But then kind of towards the end of the season, especially Natalie's character, like, she stops being like, I'm hard, I'm a badass, I'm going to get to the bottom of this. And she becomes like boy crazy, and it sort of dominates her character. And everyone kind of spirals out into this like weird, like fun kind of camp vibe, which is cool. Like, I'm into it, but I don't know. I wanted more. Like, Natalie in this episode, she escapes, she stabs the girl with the fork, and then she gets caught 2 seconds later. I'm like, wah, wah, like, what happened?
Did you feel that way too?
I don't know. Like, I guess I felt like in the previous season, they were not aware of the characters, meaning they didn't know who the audience was going to like or not, right? And I felt like Christina Ricci, for example, came off a little scarier because you just didn't know. Like, you felt like, I feel like this girl would just like stab you in the head out of nowhere. And yeah, you kind of still feel that way this time, but now you can tell that they know we had her, you know, we made her like this and it's likable, and we know how to lean into making her more funny and likable. And isn't that cute that she's doing these extreme things? I don't know. To me, it feels almost like it was a little more dangerous the last season, and people would die or their face would get ripped off. And so, you know, it just, I don't know, nothing like that happened. And
yeah, I think that's the part that I'm saying I want more, because that could be kind of like a hollow statement. There were a few times in the episode where I was bracing because I was kind of getting like PTSD from season 1, where I felt like something was going to happen unexpected and kind of violent and kind of, you know, scare me. But that never happened. Like, we never really got that moment. A fork to the hand is not what I'm talking about, even though I kind of felt like that was testament to her character still being a badass, but she was in a larger trap than she realized. She's out in the middle of the woods in this weird, like, Mooney camp of, like, you know, chakra healing and, like, mind control, right?
It almost felt like a bridge to me. Like, it felt like a bridge between season 1 and season 2, but nothing really happened. Now, one thing that did happen, and we have to talk about it because this was the whole premise of the show. This is what we've all been promised the whole time, is the cannibalism. It's been hinted at, and, you know, I felt like that was a lot of the whole buildup of season 1, and then they never ate anybody, and we're like, where's the cannibal at? So, so now we get the first inklings, and I have to say, I'm going to speak first on this one. How dare you, Shauna? Not only is your fault that Jackie is dead, but you're going to eat her ear, you bitch.
I was screaming by the end of the episode. I was like, of course.
If Jackie doesn't turn into a zombie and rip Shauna in half, I am going to never watch this show again.
I got up and looked across the room and I was like, Drac, I feel the disrespect for you.
Yeah.
Your least favorite character ate your favorite character.
I feel, you know, it's moments like these, I have to remember that empathy is how we get through the day, because I want to empathize with you, Drac, but as a Shauna apologist and stan, I'm like, go the fuck off, unhinged, spill the turpentine, get fucked in this like weird warehouse where your ex-lover's art is all over with your face.
Okay, I am very into their relationship. Like,
Shauna and Jeff?
Shauna and Jeff, yeah.
You all don't feel like Shauna is an asshole?
Oh,
like,
I do. Shauna is
an
evil.
asshole to her husband.
Yeah.
She's an asshole to her friend.
Yeah.
She's an asshole.
Look,
Yeah.
it's like the trauma mama. Like, you can't escape it. They're scarred,
Can't
and now
escape what? She started it.
no, they're scarred by this traumatic experience, right? And it's coming out in all these different ways in their adult life. Like, look at Thaisa, right? Because I feel like she doesn't even realize the monster that she is in her sleep.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we're
so you
seeing
think
that
it's
happen.
for sure?
I think it's for sure.
So
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
yeah, I am still unsure ? Although I don't know. Like, when you say I am sure, I'm like, okay, well, duh, of course. Like, it has to be because she goes in. But I don't. Oh God,
I don't think it's her.
I didn't really.
I don't think it's her.
Okay, but wait, there's a flashback because I forget things. It was like too much information in, so like things start falling out, and that's what happens to my brain. But last year we saw her like having like a sleep night terror moment, and like, or was it the sun? And he looked out the window, and it
he
was
sees her,
Thaisa
yeah.
in the tree looking like a savage like creature.
Yeah.
And I think something happens in her night walks and in her night fucking journeys, like what creature, what goes on in her brain, like something does, and it goes back to her experience in the woods, because when she's upstairs with her lover and they're like tying themselves to shoot you, I'm not going to let you sleep alone, like, oh, you shouldn't, like, just leave me, and she starts kissing her and then like bites her to the point of bleeding on the mouth. So like something is happening. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I think that it is Thaisa, but I don't think that it's Thaisa's conscious brain. I think that it's like that whatever darkness like lives inside of her.
So I mean, I guess yes.
Trauma mama.
Yeah, what you're saying, you're right, Swan.
Yeah,
like all of them. I mean, I guess that's the thing, right? That's what the show's about. They're all kind of messed up from this experience, and so, you know, maybe some of them have figured out how to hide it or manipulate it better. So you have Lottie, who's turned it into like a cult, and she profits from it. But then you have Shauna, who's like killing people.
She's trying to hold together her, like, you know, nuclear family. I have a husband and a daughter, and I live in suburbia. And Christina Ricci's character just,
that's
you know,
true.
extends that weirdness. And now we're all obsessed with her character, right?
Totally,
I mean, it's so
of course.
fun.
She's great.
Yeah, she's fantastic. I mean, I agree with you, Drac. Like, Shauna is a bad person, and that's why I like her. Like, I'm drawn to her as a villain because I think that Shauna as a villain, she's so, like, nice and sweet, but she's actually, like, fucking evil, and she is, like, the mastermind. Like, she's like, okay, Jeff, we're gonna show up here, and, like, teehee, I don't really know what's gonna be in there. Cut to 100 paintings where he's, like, obsessed. She's like, okay, well, like, now we're gonna fuck and also, like, grab this turpentine.
Okay, it's their daughter. It's their daughter that needs a little slap.
No, the daughter's right. The daughter's right.
The daughter,
yes, slap.
Yeah, look, okay, two things can be correct at the same time. The daughter is right, but that's why she needs to be slapped, because she's fucking up their villainy.
I hope
like, she's
that
snorting
daughter
around the ashes.
sends Shauna to prison.
Oh,
no.
okay.
I think they're gonna kill her.
I do too.
I think they're going to kill their own daughter.
I think they're going to too.
And if they do, I will be so pleased because, well, I will say this, like, the one part of the episode that actually just, like, really pissed me off was, I'm like, Shauna and Jeff, my dears, you're going to go through the trouble of being like, oh, well, we're going to have hot dogs because why else would we be using the grill, at this time of the year? But then you're not going to go through the ashes and sift through to look for the debris. I'm like,
well,
diva.
they're bad criminals, but she shows that she's a bad criminal because Misty is catching her messing up already.
Yeah,
she's not good at it. So that kind of
right. She's like, did you destroy all the evidence?
She
did
had
you get rid of your?
That's stupid.
That's so dumb.
That's kind of consistent that she's not good at it.
You're right, and I don't know. I mean,
she's never watched Snapped. She's never watched CSI. Hi. These are the things you do not do if you want to get away with that.
Sorry, we got a little off.
Don't apologize. I do think this is what's good about Yellowjackets. It gets us all turned up. Like,
yeah,
we obviously love the show, even if it's not bringing it the same way it did last season. We really like it.
Well, look, Cannibal. I want to talk about Cannibal.
Yeah,
right?
let's talk about Cannibal.
Okay, I don't know anything about cannibalism, and I know some about butchering and meat storage and all that. But wouldn't she be rotten? I mean, she's frozen, so that I understand that. But once the ear thawed in your I don't mean to be gross, but like, wouldn't it, after it thawed in your pocket, it would be rotten? Or no?
Probably. I guess I sort of wrote that off as an example of just how desperately cold it is there.
It was a couple of days. Like, I mean, I get it. It warmed up. It was like in there for a couple. Like, I feel like
Shauna doesn't have like a microwave in her pocket.
No, but wouldn't you get sick and die? Like if you.
I think we're just expected to suspend our disbelief and accept, like, how much meat is on an ear. I mean, and it wasn't even the whole ear. It was like the little cartilage rim. I just don't think there was much there.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think you could just eat an old ear and you'd be all right.
I mean,
I've done it.
And okay, so then Oh, what about this? They're going to eat her. They're just going to slowly, because look, she's frozen.
I didn't see that. I'm not remembering the cannibal undertones from last season.
What? That's a whole thing.
Oh, really?
I'm remembering someone dropping through into that like punji pit. I'm remembering like.
It was in the newspapers and stuff. Like when
it's like the big. I guess they confirm it in the very, very beginning of the show where like she drops to the punji pit and then suddenly they're all eating. But the girls have never straight up said we ate each other.
Yeah, it was like they hid it. They hid
it.
Yeah,
except
for Van and Taissa, they definitely ate each other.
Do you all think that they're gonna look? The truth is, if you killed a deer and you put it and it was frozen and it was outside in a house like that, yeah, it would keep. But I feel like you'd have to cover it. I don't think you could just leave it up.
Well, I mean, okay, 100% yes, but she eats the ear at the very end of the episode, and all we really see is she pops it in her mouth, and I think we're sort of like, oh my god, here we go. But who knows? Maybe episode 2 is going to open with her like vomiting. Everyone thinks, oh, it's your baby, or because I think that's actually something that this conversation.
Oh, she's still pregnant?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I think we saw flashes for season 2.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah,
we saw flashes for the whole season, and like there's a scene where Misty has her hands, there's blood all over her hands, and I think that's the birth.
Right. I was wondering. I was like, how did she get pregnant? How did someone get pregnant? Now, okay, it makes total sense. Do you think that the kid is?
I think they're going to eat that baby. Oh, actually, here's my big theory. My theory is Lottie is going to convince them all that like this, like we have to sacrifice the baby and we have to eat it, and they're going to eat the baby, and then they're going to get rescued. Like. Very, very soon after.
So you don't think that baby is the daughter?
The daughter?
Nope.
I think that's the daughter.
I don't think so. I think that's what they want you to think.
Oh, really?
Oh, and it's not his daughter.
Right, yeah. Because they were together in high school, that guy that she's with
Jeff.
now. So it makes sense that he probably thought this whole time and she probably never told him that she cheated on.
That could be that lie could bring us to the future.
Wait. So you're saying that like the daughter that they currently have is not Jeff's baby?
No, it's
Jeff essentially.
Jeff is Jackie's ex-boyfriend.
Oh, it is.
Oh, is that the guy?
Yeah.
Oh,
that's Jackie. That's Jackie's boyfriend.
The show is a web.
There's a lot that happens.
What I want to talk about is the presence of the supernatural.
Yes, please.
And how real it seems. Like, okay, in season 1 we got Lottie portrayed as mentally unstable and on drugs for her mental health, and she was running out of pills, and we saw that sequence, and then it was gone, and then she kind of went really far into like the spirit world, and now she's acting straight up that like she's connected to the spirit world. I know your brother's alive. Like trust me, I'm just saying what I feel. And they're looking at her as a mystic, a shaman, like some kind of spiritual leader, and dripping blood into the coffee of the hunters, you'll come back alive. And she's really like laying down all of these things that we could see maybe from the natural world. And it brings up the question for me, if you put humans outside of the concrete jungle and back to nature where we're close to animals and close to the natural world, would there be a spiritual kind of opening, an opportunity to be connected to that spirit world?
I mean, of course, because your faith would become incredibly important to your daily survival, because I literally think if you mentally gave up, you would die. I mean, I believe that. I don't think you would make it. I mean, even sitting in that house, you'd probably freeze to death,
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. I don't know if I'm ready to say it's supernatural or not, but I love how heavy they're laying it on, because I feel like that's to me my favorite part of the show right now is I think you're seeing 2 camps are developing. Like the camp that is like Lottie has powers and Lottie is the reason why we're alive. And then there's the other camp, kind of like the Natalie camp, that's like, what the fuck? Like we are just out here surviving. Like get your head on straight. And I love that dichotomy in that house. I think it's really, really great.
No, I think it was awesome. And last year we got a taste of it too, with the symbols on the floor in the attic and all of that. I was like, whoa, we're crossing over into like the supernatural world.
Both things can be true. Look at you two. You're both crazy and you have powers.
True.
Damn.
Okay, so predictions. Let's do a little predictions before we wrap up.
And I hope flex our powers.
Yeah, I hope everyone at home is going to watch Yellowjackets with us this season, and we can talk about it.
Yeah,
I would kind of love. I think it would be fun if we did a little open discussion with some of the podcast listeners, maybe we could do like a Patreon thing or something where we could all like chat about like.
Oh, that's
cute.
That's cute.
Yellowjackets. Maybe we'll do it on the tour because we have some super fans that have bought tickets to the podcast version of the tour. So maybe we'll do a little Q&A and we'll talk with everybody and we'll talk with them. So watch Yellowjackets Yellowjackets season 2 if you're at home. But prediction.
Okay.
I'll
need a minute because I just was like going in. I didn't even realize the season had come out, like a clear palette. I just watched it last night, so it's very fresh.
How about if I ask you questions and you all can say yes or no? Yes, it's going to happen, or no, it's not.
Okay. But I do want to throw this in the pot. I do think Shauna and her husband Jeff are going to kill that daughter.
Yeah.
They're going to kill her a little.
So, question 1, and I don't remember the character's name.
Okay.
Blonde girl that got in the plane last season.
Oh, yes, I love
it.
Okay?
Ask it.
Is she alive and coming back?
No.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay, so here's my
Wait, this is verging on the newest round of our psychic test. Remember we did that?
The psychic person's test.
Yeah.
The reason for my yes is I just feel like I could see the show moving in a weird direction. Like, I don't know if I'd be happy that it happens, but could I see it being like, hi, there's a lot of debris that kind of like blows up. She goes down and somehow she is how they all get rescued.
Okay, but look, you all thought I was crazy for thinking that she was going to live, and now Ian thinks it too. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they made sure to show that.
In the teaser, yes.
There's no reason to reference that. They keep referencing it because they want us to know who she is.
You might be right.
Because she's coming back.
Yeah.
And I think she's with the brother. That's what I think.
Girl.
I think she's with the brother.
Wait, oh my gosh. I know we're going off, but I'll keep it quick. Did we talk about the theory of where the brother is and also the bear?
No, where do you think he is?
Well, I think the brother is inside the dead bear.
What do you mean?
So I read this theory online that I really love, which is like, you know how when we got to the episode where Lottie kills the bear, we're like, that's dumb, that would never happen.
I didn't really go off quite as hard as Drac did, but go on.
I read this theory that the bear ate the brother while they were all tripping on mushrooms, and because animals metabolize like psilocybin so fast, the bear is tripping balls, and he shows up and is just like really whacked out of his mind, and that's why he just lays down and like in the face of all these people. So the bear eats the brother and gets high off of the mushrooms inside his stomach.
Whoa, that is so deep. I thought you were going to say like he pulled like a Hoth, like a Jedi, where Luke Skywalker cuts open the wampa and like sleeps inside of it or whatever that was.
For like a day, but not like 2 months. Okay, so that was my first question.
But they did show the explosion, and I thought they showed it, and it was so huge. I felt like, okay, wait, no, that girl couldn't have survived that.
I don't know.
So
Could it just be that they wanted to remind us, like, hey, here's sort of like how grim the situation is? I don't know.
I think she jumped out before the explosion, because if you go back and you watch that episode, it starts going in flame. It starts catching up, and you see her looking around. They never cut back to her after that. They don't show. You don't know. Look, in a show like this, anything's
possible.
Let
me put this out there. I want that for you. I want that for us. I want her to be alive.
Okay. Here's prediction number 2. Do we know how many seasons the show's going to? We don't know yet, right?
I thought there was like something like 5.
I thought I heard like 4 or 5, something like that.
Is Shauna going to get her just desserts this season? Like, at any point, is there going to be like justice where Shauna gets her ass beat or something?
This season?
Yeah.
No. I think that Shauna is going to get found out, but I don't think it's going to happen this season. I think that like we're about to see a new character enter the fray, which is Elijah Wood's character, who is sort of like that's the one who Misty.
There's a hobbit in the woods.
There is,
yeah.
And
How's she getting?
And Misty's gonna get on it.
So you know when Misty's on like the Yellowjackets version of Reddit, and she sees that person like, okay, like I know that like there's the secret girlfriend. Oh, 100%. That's my prediction. The person who posted that is Elijah Wood's character.
But he doesn't come in the woods.
No.
It's just like a
He doesn't show up in the woods, right?
No.
Okay, that confused me.
Drax taking this sex with a hobbit analogy.
You said she's gonna get on it.
So wait. What I do like too is we're getting introduced to different girls in the group.
Yes.
Like the girl who sings a lot was named Crystal.
Yeah.
And it seemed like there may be other peripheral characters.
That's
I would
like
love
you in the mall. If someone went, that's like you.
It isn't even the mall, like anywhere. It's uncanny.
Wait, what?
She likes to sing. I'll save that for another time. She likes to sing. I will go to a quiet ass antique store. I'm like, it's Sunday. We're gonna go look for it to be quiet, and she'll be like, ah.
Yes!
I'm like,
yes!
what is happening? And I'll be like 3 aisles over.
And you know what? I'm completely unconscious of it, right? So I'm floating through my world, and you know what? It's a fun place to be. I'm gonna say that. So I'm in the store, and I'm like, if I just hear whatever it is, I'm like, I realize now because Drac points out, I'm like, I sing anything. I sing everything. So if there's
I want to be quiet in the antique store. That's why I go there, because it's quiet grannies.
Oh.
Do we need a sub podcast, Quiet in the Antique Store with Drac Morda?
You want to hear the first episode? You just did.
Otherwise you'll be like looking at all this stuff and it's like, lost in emotion.
Yes!
How do I feel? I'm like, what is happening?
Okay, Sarah.
So are there any other predictions? Like,
So do you think that they're going to completely consume Jackie? Like, is that the first meal? You know what I'm saying?
If the answer is yes, do we from this point forward always refer to her as Snacky?
Wow.
oh my God.
Are they going to eat her or not?
I don't know.
But also
yes!
I'm like, that's a good way to end that section.
I'm going to say yes. Yes, because Shauna got a little nibble, and
she's going to say, hey, we're
half of them are going to do it.
They're signaling. They're like, we're out of ration. And Shauna's the one who controls the meat. Here's the question. Does she slip it in without them knowing?
That's what I was just thinking.
We've been doing this anyway.
Wow.
Yes, she decides for them. That's my prediction.
Because she's the meat queen. She's the one that goes and gets it prepared.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, Ian.
I was going to say, as the former meat queen, like, I would.
That's my prediction.
Wow. Okay. Is there anything you all want to know? Like any prediction question?
How far does Thaisa's darkness go at night?
Oh, that's good.
Well, I don't think she kills anybody or anything. Do you think she's killing people?
I think she killed her dog.
Oh, I definitely think she killed the dog.
Decapitated it and put it on an altar in the basement.
Oh God, I love the horrible thing she says to the new dog. She's like, "I made a mistake." I'm like, "Oh my God, this is a nightmare."
Stevie, run!
How about you? Any questions you have?
I don't know if it's like a question, more so it's an excitement. I'm really excited to meet Adult Van, who is Thaisa's partner in the woods, played by Lauren Ambrose, who is from 6 Feet Under, one of my favorite shows. And this is actually my big prediction, is that Thaisa is losing it, and Van, in her own world as an adult, is also secretly losing it and is crazy. And they're going to team back up and be like, hey, you're the only person who I've ever truly loved out there in the woods, in the wild, in the dark. Let's be crazy. And like political takeover.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Help me kill my wife.
Oh my God.
Okay. All right, so that was it for the first our recap of the first episode of Yellowjackets. So new episodes come out on Sunday, so let's all watch it together, and then we'll come back here and talk about it. Even if we do other movie reviews, we'll always have to do our little Yellowjackets catch up.
Cute.
So, all right, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to answer all of your listener questions.
Hello, uglies. It's that special time of year again, so visit BouletBrothersDragula.com for brand new merch from the wicked world of the Boulet Brothers. T-shirts, keychains, stickers, vinyl copies of the Boulet Brothers debut EP, Time to Die, and a brand new shipment of exclusive merch has just become available at BouletBrothersDragula.com. So if you consider yourself a member of the Dragula Coven and truly practice the dark arts, spend all of your nether coins at BouletBrothersDragula.com. Do it now or die. Welcome back, darlings. It's time to reach into our bag of mail and answer your listener questions. Ian, will you do the honors?
Sorry, I just had to stop nibbling on my best friend's ear here for a second. LJ from Milwaukee writes, ladies, I must know from your Poking the Bears episode, was that mystery item that y'all consumed a candy or a candle? And how are you feeling now after having consumed it?
I mean, I didn't feel weird that night or anything. I don't know. I'm gonna assume it was food, but I have to tell you, I got to take some pictures of it. You would not know from looking at it, and I don't think that in the future they should put candies in something that basically looks like one of those plastic square tea candle containers. It's very confusing.
April Peterson writes, "Hello, Swan and Drac. Love you. I have always wanted to ask your opinions of American Horror Story and Ryan Murphy's other shows like Ratched, Pose, Feud, and Dahmer. So, what is your opinion? Do you have any favorite seasons of American Horror Story? And what is your opinion about his other work?"
Okay, these are my favorite type of questions because Ian puts on the inflection of their voices, like, "Hi, how are you?" And like, regardless of the question, I love the delivery. Aww. So thank you, and thank you, Ian.
Yes.
So we probably have different opinions. You can go first.
Okay, let's start with American Horror Story. Okay, so I love the second season of American Horror Story. That's the crazy one with the asylum. Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is so like across the board crazy, and we hadn't been oversaturated and over just consumed with like all of the million American Horror Stories. So the second season was just so nuts and like entertaining. I love the witches, of course. I guess I find a little joy in all of them. I think I watched the Freak Show one, and there were parts of that I really liked too. But it was after that season where I sort of fell off, and I didn't really see anything from like Hotel on.
Do you like his work?
I think I air quotes, enjoy it. Would I do things differently? Yes. Do I think he veers into certain places that I really enjoy? Also, yes. Specifically, Feud. Like, I loved Feud. I love learning about that story. I know that there are new iterations of Feud coming out featuring like Truman Capote and who's the amazing poet?
There's the one with Rosie O'Donnell and Elizabeth. Here's my take on American Horror Story. And I really kind of hate, that's why when we do our movie reviews, I don't like to be too critical. Like I kind of say, I think this would be different. Or does it appeal to me personally, right? There's something about his work that it always gets me like 75% of the way there, but it never totally hooks me. And I don't know what it is. There's like a weird, that appeals to me. There's something like a weird emptiness that doesn't quite get the ball in the goal. I don't know what it is. And there's a lot of great packaging. Like I always think visually it's really interesting.
Stunning. Yeah.
I actually loved the Freak Show, which I know a lot of people didn't because I thought Jessica Lange was just so fabulous in that. Yeah. I loved her character. And there's one of the other things that that doesn't necessarily appeal to me that he does is I feel like he goes really dark in a way that I don't like to see people in a weird way. I felt like with the asylum, it was just so darker and heavy, and it just nobody was good in the end, or everyone was just awful, and I don't know. I was like, I don't want to think of life as that bleak. It was almost like watching Requiem for a Dream, but the series, and I was like, I don't need to do that.
And I kind of agree a lot on a lot of what you just said too, because I feel like he gives me a sample of something that I love, but doesn't take it to the place where I kind of expect it to go. But I can just respect that as a different queer voice. Like, he's a queer creator. I love a lot of his work. I loved Pose. Like, when Pose came out, I was just so happy and kind of amazed. I was stunned to see these kind of stories, not just queer stories, but like trans Black stories being told, and it was just, I got giddy with it. I couldn't believe it was on television, and I just appreciated it existing. And James Baldwin is the writer that's going to be portrayed in Feud, and I kind of can't wait to see that.
I do have a secret Ryan Murphy story that I have never shared publicly before, and I don't think I will now, but one day you will read it in the book. I'm going to write this book one day.
I do also want to say, April, you've mentioned so many good series, but you haven't mentioned Ryan Murphy's magnum opus, which is Nip Tuck. Anyway, diva. Gabe from Nashville writes, have you guys ever considered doing a talent show to kick the season off at any point? Of course, with the ever so lovely Dragula twist, more like a freak show. I think with that foundation idea, you guys are capable of making something truly maniacal if ever approached. Thank you for your time and much love.
No.
I have. Okay. I wanted to do that. That was the whole freak show episode on season 3. And I couldn't believe it when they came out and they all did fake freak acts. I remember that. I was shocked. I was like, you're on Dragula. Like, all of Dragula people, at least up until that point, have their circus tricks. They can staple themselves, or everyone has to breathe fire or whatever. And they all came out and did fake stuff. I was so shocked by that. That's why I stapled Louisiana at the end of the episode. No, did you feel that way or not? Like,
I don't know. I guess it might have been like difficult for them to imagine the character that they wanted to portray and then marry that to an actual skill that they had. So they did their best to emulate like something that you could actually see in a freak show.
All right. That's all the time we have for this episode. If you have a question for us, please write to us at creatures@BouletBrothersDragula.com to have your question answered on air. And we may answer it in person on the tour show. So make sure you send in those questions. And also make sure you rate, review, and subscribe to the podcast wherever you can. Go to Apple Podcasts and do it, because for some reason I've been told that counts a lot more than everywhere else. So go to Apple Podcasts and subscribe, rate, and review the Boulet Brothers Creatures of the Night. And we will see you on the next episode.
The Boulet Brothers Creatures of the Night is hosted by the Boulet Brothers with their co-host and producer, Ian DeVogler. Engineered and mixed by Carlos Bueno, with music by Neuron Spector.